Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of the climbing tutorial series. Well, it's actually part 3 because if you're new you need to go back and watch the vault tutorial and then climb part 1, this being climb part 2. So right now we have the default third person template and we set it up so you can still run around and jump. But if he comes to a low obstacle, you can vault over it, and if it's deep enough for him to climb upon, he climbs up. We want, however, him to be able to climb up higher obstacles, and that's what we're going to set up today. So if we go into our third person blueprint, you will see that all the logic is pretty much already there. So all we need to do is reuse what we've done for the mantle and the vault to enable him to climb, because we've taken care of all the maths we need in the vaulting tutorial. So what we need to do is we need to import some animations. So I have got a few different ones for some different scenarios we will encounter, but to start with I'm just going to bring in this climbing animation, set it to our default mannequin skeleton, and this is just a two-handed climbing up about a 2-meter high wall. So same as always, we're going to enable root motion, save that out, and then just right click and create anim montage. And this will be our montage to allow the character to climb up a wall such as this. Okay, so back in the third person blueprint, just move this all down slightly to create a bit of space, and we're going to be coming off this branch that we set up earlier. I think it was in the previous video that branch appeared. So the first thing we want to do is we're just going to copy and reuse this code we've got here, because we're setting the rotation, collision and movement mode exactly the same as if we were vaulting or climbing up a small wall. So we'll just reuse this and we'll come off the true node of our branch and set the actor rotation so he's facing the wall, and remove his collision and set his movement mode to flying so the capsule will move to the top of the wall. Then what we want to do is we are going to reuse again some of this code. So after this branch here, for the, that was for the mantle, no, that's sorry, the vault. Yeah, the vault. If we just copy all of this again and paste that in here, just move this up a bit higher, and if we plug this into here, now what's going to happen is we are taking the height of the wall and we are setting the location where we're going to move our capsule to while the montage is playing. So all we need to do is change the montage to our new climb montage. Everything else there can stay the same. And all we probably really need to change is this value here, which will just need to increase. So if we make it 50, compile and save, and we'll give it a test. So now, instead of being blocked, our character climbs up the wall. Again, due to the idle animation of the third person character, he is floating with one of his feet. So if we can adjust this value to say 45, that will bring him further onto the wall. and that's not quite so bad. So that is really it. Once you've done all the hard work of setting up the code, it's all just about reusing it in the right place. So we'll comment that out. So that's 2-meter mantle, and it's as simple as that, because like I say, we'd already done all the hard work. However, what if we had, say, a fence? So there's too high to vault over, but too not deep enough to sort of stand on. So if we copy this here, how deep's that one? That one's 30 centimeters. So if we make this, say, 20 centimeters, so now we've got sort of like some sort of fence. Because if we played this now, you'd obviously, you wouldn't be able to stand on that, especially with the way these idle animations set up. So we want him to jump down the other side once he's climbed back up. So I have a great animation. Unfortunately, it was not from a free pack. It's from a pack called Character Interaction. And it's basically, it's called a climp. I don't know if that's the correct term for it. But it's basically climbing over a fence. And this is an absolutely fantastic animation, which looks really good. Like I say, unfortunately, it's not from a free pack, and I don't know if you'll be able to find anything similar. I'll show you how to set this one up, and then I'll show you another option you can do. So again, enable root motion and create an anim montage of this one. And then back in our third person blueprint, what we're going to do is we're going to reuse one of the variables that we set up earlier, which was the deep wall variable. So if we bring that in and have a branch similar to what we did down here, if it's true and the wall is deep, we are going to do our 2-meter climb. However, if it's false, we're again going to reuse this code up to the delay. And then we're going to change this to our new climp montage. I really don't know if that's the right term. That's just what it was called in this pack. Climp the fence, is that? Not sure if that's correct or not. Then after we've done the montage, we're going to reset the collision and the movement mode as before. And these might need a bit of adjustment, but we'll see how that looks to start with. If we play now, yeah, that needs quite a bit of adjustment, both in height and the depth. Okay, let's see if we can fix that up a bit. 100 and 40 might be enough. Once you've got sort of this all set up, it's just a case of adjusting these variable values slightly, just depending on your animation, rather than trying to edit the animation itself. There we go, that's much better. And as you can see, especially with the way the camera works, that actually looks pretty cool. You see him climbing up, and then the camera moves through the wall with his capsule component, and then he jumps down and lands in front of the camera. I actually quite like that. Okay, that's enough of watching me play around with that. Like I say, that animation is from a paid pack, and I've never seen a free version of that. Another way it could be done is I have this jumping down from a wall animation. So I'll bring that one in as well. And this animation can be used, it's mainly used for like jumping down off a ledge, but it would work perfectly fine in this situation. So enable the root motion, and we will create our montage. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to bypass this branch. And in fact, we're not going to need, what we're going to do, yeah, we're going to reconnect this back up to here. Disconnect this branch and move it over here. Move this out the way. Disconnect that. So if we bring this branch into here, once it's climbed up on top of the wall. So we're setting his rotation, calculating where on the wall he's going to climb to, climbing to the top of the wall. Then we'll check if the wall's deep enough for him to stay there. If the wall's deep enough for him to stay there, so this is true, we're going to set the collision. If it's false, we are going to play this new jumping down montage. And then once that one's finished, we will re-enable the collision and the movement mode. Yeah, that should work. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, might need to be more wall rather than fence though, because of the way the animations look. We'll give it a try. That's the first montage, and that's the second montage. So it doesn't look too bad. I prefer the other one, but it all depends what animations you can get hold of. Yeah, it's not too bad. So there's a couple of different ways you can set that up depending on what animations you can get hold of. I'll try and put a link into, or put a link in the description of some other social media links. So if you want to message me rather than leaving comments on videos on YouTube, you should be able to contact me through other sorts of social media. It might be a bit easier to stay in touch with people. But that's it for this one. I hope that's been useful. If you are really struggling to get hold of some animations, give me a shout and I might be able to point you in the direction of where you can get some free ones. But really it's just a case of adjusting values to work with what you've got. And if you do ever edit any animations, make sure you edit a copy, so you can always revert back to the original should you totally break it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.